Hey everybody, welcome to the channel again. I'm Nina. Today is something different. Something I'll be doing for today's video specifically. I've never done it before, but yeah, it's a Q&A, Tellonym Q&A. If you don't know what Tellonym is, it's an app where you can download. You can link it to your Instagram, Facebook. I'm not sure, Snapchat as well, and people can send questions and you can answer them. So it's like if you really are somebody who wants to answer questions or like turn a good following or anything on the lines of that, and it's the best app you can get. I mean, yeah, you can send your own tales basically. So it's really good. I recommend. Anyway, so as you can see in the background, I'm in a hotel room in Derbyshire. It's lovely here. Holiday at the moment, so it's the first time I'm on holiday in a while. Anyway, I can explain that. Not really, but I mean, if any of you follow me on Instagram, you'll see updates from that. So, yeah, 1 minute, my family with me here until I think an hour, until around an hour. Anyway, let's go right in. So, first question I get is, what do you like or not like when someone is confident on the first date? Well, confidence on the first date is a big thing because confidence is important. It's courage asking or, questions or something about introduction, and that's something I can understand. So, what I like about confidence is if it's confidence in the way that, I think it's more so that, as in confidence is standard confidence, so not like just over the edge, overly confident, if you know what I mean. Standard confidence where they're just modest, humble, and nothing bad happens. Like, it's just standard. So it's confidence in the way that they say, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this, I may be nervous, but what could go wrong, and just goes with the flow and with my support in turn, because I always support the nervous people. Whereas the confidence I don't like is if you're that confidence to the point, if you're so hyper fixed on your confidence, like if you're so boastful and you're like, oh yeah, I'm confident, I'm the best, like immodest and just full of yourself. That's just no way to go, because you may be young, you may be full of energy, but what good will that even get you? That's even toxic masculinity if you're a male. Yeah, so that's the first one. How do you react when your folks get yelled at? So this is a question about how do I react when I see someone get yelled at, or a friend or a family member. It depends, because if it was somebody I knew who was being a dick, or somebody who wasn't being incompetent, is that the right word? Competent, or I mean, if they deserved, like if they were bad or rude, a complete nutcase, rough around the edges, then they would. Yelled is a bit far, but depending if they did something really bad, it's only a matter of fact I'd understand why they would get the lashing. I mean, you done something bad, so it's obvious you're gonna get yelled at, mate. Not my fault. Yeah. It depends. If you deserve to get yelled at, I wouldn't care. If it's like wrongfully, I'd be upset. So, in this instance, if somebody got berated for something they didn't do, I'd be furious. And it would only be a matter of time till I would step in and solve the situation, despite how nervous or shaking I am. Because that's no way to go. I mean, it depends really. So I feel awkward, and some parts of me feels like I got yelled at, despite the fact it weren't yelling at me. And I think we all feel like that, but yeah, I hope that answers your question. These questions are from Anonymous, so I don't know who they are. So the first question is, ever have to cry for joy? What was the reason? I mean, I've never really properly have gone that far in my joy in the past to the point I would cry with tears, but I think there were times I felt euphoric to the point where I did shed a tear subconsciously, but I don't think I've ever cried of tears of joy. But I think I have. It's love red caused me to have like a tear roll down my eye, breathtaking instances. It works like that really. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it would never happen, but I think there would be a time, or will be a time, where I will cry for joy, tears of joy. If anything, I've answered your question. Yeah, to answer that again, simply, I've never cried with tears of joy before, but I have shed a tear when I have felt the most euphoric. So I hope that answers your question. Fourth is, what of your traits do you like the most? I think it's more along the lines of me being modest and respectful to the environment, which means people and the things that create what it is. I mean, I don't support the wealth or anything, but like, you know what I mean. But my favourite traits is more so that I'm good-natured and I'm not lazy, I'm not a dick, I'm always nice, I'm always modest. I think it's more so that I'm assertive, I always know what I'm doing, and I'm always like, have a backup plan for everything that happens, right or wrong. So, for instance, I would get everything right should anything go wrong, and I always have some kind of design for something if it seems flawed. So I'm always resilient. That's my favourite part of me. I think overall my favourite parts of me, my favourite trait is me being respectful, modest and humble, and more of any element existing that shows that I am very grateful to live in to be alive at this age, because I know full well that there are people out there who sadly aren't on the same road, and I'm just more grateful that I'm able to see an extent of life going forward and forward, and I'm more grateful to be who I am. So that's my favourite one. Yeah, so the fifth question is, how can you tell a friendship is ending? I mean, I've never ended a friendship, suffice to say, but I have, I think, never ended a friendship, but there's one person that I'll have to explain this certain topic in a specific video, and I think it's related to a topic. It explains events that happened in a video made back in December, 2 years ago, nearly 2 years ago. I've had to end a friendship with one person for a right reason, and that was because this person who I've had to end a friendship with, I explained this specifically in the specific video, but I had to end the friendship because this person I was friends with hated me for no reason, and I confronted him about it. It ended nowhere. I thought, I've had to end it. I've ended a friendship before, specifically because friendships end for multiple reasons. Oftentimes it can be a fault or no fault. Sometimes it's because you can tell if it's ending lack of contact, if I'm correct, or it's usually for a very wrong reason. Friendships end, lack of contact, they begin hating on you, or just things that it's mostly happens by ignorance, or just people just begin deliberately ignoring you. So friendships end by oftentimes lack of contact, or if things aren't really going very nicely. So if your friend's been doing, well, said friend has been doing bad things, fucked up things to be exact, and you can tell it's ending because you're just not really wanting to keep that friendship on because of their actions. You can just about feel it in your soul. They just want to get it done and dusted and just off, really. Yeah, I mean, I hate it when it happens, but I mean, yeah. Sixth question is, how would you describe your friends in 3 words? I have tons of friends, but I think my friends, as in all of them, 3, nice, caring, and lovable. I love all my friends, regardless if it's mutual or best or close. They mean a lot to me, and I've helped them, and they've helped me in hard times, and vice versa. So I think 3, nice, caring, and awesome, amazing. There's so many words I can describe them, but to start with, kind, caring, and lovable. And I think if I was to go onwards, awesome, amazing, and just ones I would never ever keep out of my life. So yeah, I think 3 to start with is kind, caring, and lovable, because I love all my friends, and that's, if anything, that's as far as I would go. Kind, caring, and loving. No, it actually doesn't end there. It's kind, caring, lovable, awesome, amazing. There's millions of miles. 7th question is, do you like piercings? Absolutely, I love piercings. I actually want to get a septum, which I think you can either a septum or a nose ring. But I think I'm in a tug of war. I don't know which one I want to get. They're really cool. I love piercings. I love them. They're amazing. I see people every day that have them. Obviously not right now, I'm in holiday, but back where I come from, when I go to college every day, when I go to like everywhere, I see people with piercings on, and they're just amazing. I've loved them for years. It's been like for at least years and years and years. I'm turning 20 this year, but I'm talking about mid-teens. Pardon me. I've always wanted a piercing. I mean, I would have got one years ago, but you know, family members can be a bit in there. I mean, my dad doesn't give a shit, but yeah, they're amazing, absolutely amazing. I love them. I've always wanted one, and when I get the right amount of money, I'm going to get one, regardless of what my family says. That's called being yourself. But thank you for that. I found that my favourite one so far. Would you say you're open or shy? That's the 8th question. Open or shy? I think I'm shy. I'm shy, but I'm often open. It depends. I'm shy when you don't know me. When you get to know me, when we start talking, I'm open about who I am. It's part of being introverted, part of autism. So I'm shy. Usually, I don't talk to people. Once you get to know me, I'll just explain everything. I'm open to people who I find trusting, so I'll know that if I trust you, I'll be open with you. If I can't trust you, I won't be open. Yeah. So the 9th question is, who do you talk to when you're down? I talk to most of my family, but some family members I don't talk to about, because the problems I go through as a majority, the ones they won't really understand. And it's usually the ones' answers aren't really the most supportive, but oh well. I talk to my aunt or father, but usually I talk to there's my cousins, but normally I talk to my friends, and importantly I talk to a counsellor. so I usually talk to a counsellor when I'm down because the problems the problems I go through, that's the right answer. Oftentimes it's related to this thing called, I didn't have gender dysphoria, I don't think, but it's related to that. It's like what we call symptoms. I go through depressions of like dysphoria, mental health, and a lot of depression quite quickly, and that's largely in turn my autism, and it's also within isolation, which is like very prompting for the problems I go through. I talk to my friends or most family members, but importantly a counsellor, because this because the depression I would go through initially would most likely be very mild and very serious, despite anything. What can I do if a friend has fallen for me? I don't know what that means, fallen for. But if you mean fallen for, as in falling in love, then I mean just see how things go. I mean just just give them. I think just don't ask them about that first, but just let time fly by. Maybe just see how you feel about it. If you don't develop feelings for them, that's fine. Just say to them, I don't have feelings for you, but I see you as a friend. Or if you do have feelings, you can still be friends. Or it depends on how you feel. So definitely just let time by and just see how you feel about it, and just kind of take note of how, and just see how you feel about it. I mean, it's fine if you don't have the same feelings in return. You can still be friends. I think just see how things go, because sometimes crushes can last for a short term or a long term, and I think all I can say is just see how things go. Question 11 is thoughts on friends with benefits. I mean, I'm not really too familiar with the term friends with benefits. I've heard it many times, but I think, as far as I know, it means like as in friendships that have kinds of elements of relationships or love. I think that can easily be interpreted in 500 Days of Summer. If you haven't watched the film, I recommend. It's really good. But thoughts on friends with benefits. I'm not really sure. Really, I don't really think about it too much. I think it's something that happens. Really, I think you've got to be careful, because I don't know. I think if anything, I just let it happen. But I think you just have to really be totally honest with yourself. If you really, I don't know how these things work, but so far I think it's like a friendship where at one point you're friends and the next minute you love them. But I think it's like a pattern. But I think it's like to take track, to see how things go, and I think just take it easy, because I think it can be confusing, because at one minute you're friends and one minute you're in love. It could be possible that at one point you could probably just feel that you're friends, or it's like a pattern, as I think. But I think it's just easy, just take things easy, and maybe just I don't really have any opinions on that. I think just take things easy, and just don't get hasty or upset if things don't work your way. But I think it's just important to respect each other, because I've been through, I think, a similar time, or I mentioned about it, and it has been in some ways confusing, but it does take time to get used to what's happening and understanding. 12th question is, do you have a piercing? Would you get one? This is related to the one I did earlier. This is the 6th question. No, I currently don't. I'm currently virgin in this case. To modifications, I'm planning to get one soon. When I have the amount of cost and courage, and yes, I would get one. I just need to figure out, really come to terms with my decision of which one I would get. Would that be here or there? But I really need to figure out which, because I'm prepared for it, because I need to do a lot of cleaning and just to figure out what to do in events, and yeah. The 12th question. There's more questions, but this is the last one I'll do before the next. What is the first book I remember reading? The first book in my entire life. I can't remember. I've read books over the years, but I think I'll get to end the video now, but I'll see you soon. The first book I remember reading was Railway Series. That means here, so I've got to end the video now, but I'll see you soon. And thanks for answering my questions. I'll upload sooner. See ya.